still laughing about it now. I need to stop.
What's that? That's off a Shrek, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm done, I promise.
I used to think it was off the Incredibles.
No, because it's when he goes, I love you, Daddy. Right, no, I've got it out of my system now. I'm done.
Okay, welcome back to the podcast, guys. It has been a minute. I've had a lot going off over these last couple of weeks, which we will get into within this video. So main things we're going to cover are mine and Shannon's experience of Hyrox Glasgow, which was, I think we just worked out, was about nearly 4 weeks ago now. We were planning on speaking about this a bit earlier while it was still fresh in our memory, but it's mainly my fault. I've had so much going off. So we'll get into that, and then we'll touch on my decision to leave PureGym after 5 years and what the sort of next plans are for myself going forward. So yeah, regarding Hyrox Glasgow, obviously I've already done one before, as you'll know if you've listened to previous episodes, but this was Shannon's first ever one. So what were your first impressions of the Hyrox, would you say?
Well, obviously we went and registered the day before, didn't we? So we got like sort of a little taster of like the sort of people that was going to be there. So I think my first impression was, you know, when we were in the queue and I was like, I love that there's like so many different people, because like we were literally queued like around so many like different like people that were doing the relay, people that were like defo there to like, they were there to win it. Like there was just like everyone was there, wasn't there? So I think my first impression was like, I was quite excited because it wasn't, I expected it to just be like pure athletes that are there like literally to like win or nothing, but no. And then when we got to the event, I just enjoyed it. I don't even think like I was a bit nervous, but I think it was just fun. I just had fun.
That woman behind us in the queue, well, at the pre-registration, she'd like literally just flown in from Dubai that day, hadn't she?
Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about the yeah. Yeah, she was serious about it.
I think she was doing the race and then literally like flying back out the day later. So, but I think that's obviously that's why it's become so popular, because regardless of whatever level you're at, you can do it. As a mixed double, as like 2 guys, 2 women. I mean, obviously you've got people that are doing it in like sub-hour, and then you've got people that like I didn't know at the time, they put it on their Instagram afterwards. There was someone at Glasgow, like a 71-year-old.
Yeah, I seen that.
I think he did it on his own.
Yeah.
And it took him like 3 hours and 20 minutes to do it, but he did it.
Yeah.
So I think that is why it's getting so popular now, because it is literally for anyone. Like, and at least then it gives you a target to aim for. Obviously, we got, for those that didn't see our Instagram post, I think, was it 1 hour 17?
Yeah.
That we did it in. So
Slay.
yeah, which was really good, to be fair. Like, we were both happy with that, weren't we?
Yeah.
But at least now for us, that's like our benchmark now, which I suppose could be a blessing or a curse. It's
Yeah, I suppose, because it's not a bad time at all. So,
no,
like,
and there's a lot of people in the Jade Skillen group chat that I'm in that like they get so disheartened. Like, you see messages come through and they're like, "Hey guys, just done such and such Hyrox. Like, I got 5 minutes slower than my last one," and like they get really disheartened due to whatever reason. So I think that's what I mean when I say it's like a blessing and a curse, because you don't know what's going to happen on the day. I suppose, like, I mean, you could cramp up, or you could be. I mean, I was ill. What was it, like 2 weeks before? Just before I did my last event, weren't I?
Yeah.
Or 2-3 weeks before. I had 2 days where I was really ill. So, because that was a Wednesday and a Thursday.
Yeah.
And I remember sat there thinking, like, imagine if that was the Wednesday, Thursday of the event, when that was on the Saturday. So you just never know. But again, I don't think there's any point in beating yourself up about it. But obviously, like, knowing myself and then knowing you as well, I know when we do the next one, like, we want to be beating that one.
Oh my god, yeah, 100%. But like, I also wouldn't want it to take, because like I said, like I actually had so much fun doing it. Like I really did. And I just think I wouldn't ever want to get to the point where I'm taking it too seriously that I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I loved every minute. Like I was having a laugh with the people that were like refereeing it or whatever. And like everyone was just so lovely, and I wouldn't want that to change. I would want to beat the time, and I think personally by enjoying it a bit more, that's why we got such a good time, because there was no like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So I think we could beat the time and still enjoy it, not go absolutely balls to the wall and then be gutted if we don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously we put in the work in training as well, don't we? So it's
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we know
We've got the things to back it up. We don't need to. Yeah.
So I think I'd be very surprised if we didn't beat that time. And then obviously I was just saying this to Shannon before we started filming. So obviously I compared my splits and my times for my solo one to our double one, because I think in my head initially, when I saw the times and the splits, I thought, well, for sure the stations will be quicker because we split it. But I probably thought my runs might have been a bit quicker, but upon actually looking at it, we did actually run quicker. Like I said, I think it was by about a minute and a half in total. We actually ran quicker than what I did last time. And I know obviously you'll openly admit you're not as strong a runner as what I am.
Yeah, I think I surprised myself though on the day.
Yeah, well, you're going to get an extra like 10% out on the day because of the event and the adrenaline and all that sort of stuff. But I think we both have, to be fair. I mean, we've both improved our running quite a lot, I think. Like, I've definitely, since my London one, which was in November to now, like, I've improved my running so much. Like, I did that half marathon, was that like a week ago?
Yeah.
But pretty quick time. Like, I just got a 5k PB last week, so the running has definitely improved, but like it's still a big shock to the system. It's all right doing the 5Ks and doing the half marathons when it's just purely running, but I think until you like experience the running like after a sled push and after the ski, it's not quite the same.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So it's all good me getting 4 minute. I think it was 4 minute 18 kilometers. 4 minute 18 Ks, sorry, for that 5k that I did, which is quick, but because I know I'm only doing 5k, I did go pretty mad with it. Like, there's no way I'd be running a 4:18k after a sled push. Not yet, anyway.
Not after that sled push, no. That was like a feeling I've never experienced in my life, because it was fine when I was pushing it, but then I was like, oh no, like I can't run right now. You know, when you go down the little bit that when you're done, I was thinking, no, I'm not going to be able to pick this up here. Like, crawling. But we did, so it was fine.
But again, for me, though, that sled push felt a lot easier. I think it's just that first time. And I've said that to a lot of people that have obviously like asked me stuff about Hyrox related stuff. And I went into that first Hyrox in my head thinking like, yeah, I feel ready. I've put in the prep for this. Like, let's go. And then you soon get humbled after that sled, especially for your first time. I feel like no matter how ready you think you are, you're probably not for that first one. And you'll understand that feeling of when you've done, especially if you do a solo one, when you've done that 50-meter sled push, trying to then run after that is tough. And I think I can't remember who it was, but some guy put some like tips on a reel that I saw the other day, and I think one of his tips was the race doesn't start till after the sled push. And I agree with that, because your first K is fine. 1,000-meter ski erg is not too bad, providing that you've done a lot of ski erg work in your training. And then obviously you've got the second K, so that first little bit is not too bad. But once you get to that sled, you're going to get humbled.
And then humbled again when you've got to pull it.
Yeah, but again, we said going into this one that we thought your weaknesses would be the sled push and the sled pull.
I'm glad it was just one.
Yeah, because you absolutely smashed the push, but that like I remember again in my first one, I struggled massively on the pull. I remember thinking I'm going to use the hand over hand technique, and it wouldn't budge. So I had to do the step back one. But then in our Glasgow one, I did quite a few meters of it with hand over hand because I was more prepared for it. So, but no, that's tough though, because obviously you've got to do the men's weight.
Yeah, I forget that. Like when I think about it, I was like, because it took us both by surprise when I was pushing the sled, and I found it quite easy to be fair. But that, like, I need to cut myself a bit of slack with that sled pull. It just wouldn't move. It just wouldn't move.
I think it was 103 kg the weight.
Yeah, but I just remember like seeing like there was women like obviously next to us, like because there was mixed doubles like going at the same time as well. And like I remember a woman saying to me, "No, you can do it. It's fine." I'm looking at her and she's like nearly 6 foot. I'm like, "Girl, you're all right, babe." I was like, "It's not moving."
Yeah, but no, I think the women's weight, I think that's 78 kg. I think you'd be fine with that.
I hope.
And then you'd absolutely piss the push. I mean, if you're pushing 150,
Yeah.
the push is 103.
Oh.
I believe, off the top of my head, in the women's. So you'd be sound at that. So yeah, I think obviously we knew our strengths and weaknesses going into it. I think we said that like farmers carries is arguably the easiest station. I think everyone that's ever done a Hyrox will agree with that, because that was our quickest one. I think that was like 1 minute 56 or something like that. But then we kind of thought that burpees would be like one of our strongest ones as well, which it was.
It was. That was like, that will go down in history for me. Like, someone should have filmed that.
Yeah, I can't believe that was the only station that we didn't get any photos from.
In it, and it was iconic.
But I think it's purely because we were going that quick. Photographers couldn't keep up. So to put it in perspective, we did the burpee station in, I think, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was bang on 2 minutes, weren't it?
Yeah.
So the way it was structured there was, so it's 80 meters, so it's 40 one way, and then you've kind of got like that like free bit at the end where you then walk to the other side, and then you do your 40 back, don't you? So as we were running up to it, I said to you, right, we'll do 20-20, 20-20. And then obviously you got to about that 20-25 meters.
Just kept going.
You kept doing another few more. And I like, obviously I'm behind you, so I'm like looking around at you and I'm like, are we swapping then? And Shannon was just like, no, I'm going to go to the end.
I was in my zone. That man was like, she's gone.
Yeah, honestly, like the refs and that were looking at us like we were maniacs. Because literally everyone else, they were doing like...
They were doing a couple each, weren't they?
Like maybe 3 to 5 burpees each, and then they were like hands on knees, like panting, swapping. But literally you just went that whole way. But then obviously as you then got near the end, I then thought in my head, I was like, oh fuck, I've got to do 40 metres the other way now. But to be fair, I surprised myself at how quick. Like say you didn't stop for your whole 40 metres, and I didn't stop for mine. And again, I can't remember I know the burpee number, but I can't remember the number before. So when they do all the breakdowns after every station, it gives you a ranking of where you are out of like everyone, not just your age category. And I think after the sled pull, we were like, I think it was like 653 or 653rd time-wise out of like everyone. And then after the burpees, we were 23rd.
Yeah.
Out of everyone. Like, when we say we absolutely tanked that.
Yeah. When I say I love burpees, I'm not lying.
Yeah. But even though we did do them quick, we did kind of, afterwards, we did have more for me, we had that like 30, 40 second break, because I couldn't have gone back into a run. I
was still dying. I remember like following behind you, being like, "Don't look dead, don't look dead." But I was like, no, I feel dead. When you went, let's give it a minute, I was like, yeah. It was well deserved.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. And then again, obviously, like, because I'm comparing it to the London one that I did, obviously, where I did everything on my own. So, like, although it was tough, and obviously we got a quicker time, and like we're both fitter than what I was last November for sure. Like, none of the other stations were particularly that bad, I didn't think, because obviously I'm comparing it to like at London when I had to do everything myself. It wasn't like even the wall balls at the end. Like I'm thinking back to the London one, and I'm like 70, 80 wall balls in, and I'm dying. I'm just running on fumes at that point. Whereas
No, we were quite solid, weren't we? Apart from I got a few no reps because I just couldn't.
yeah, I think you got 2 or 3 no reps. I got 1 because I missed the board completely.
Yeah, I got like 3 in a row. Like there was 3 where I just couldn't push it. Like, but we literally did like 25, 25, 25, 25, didn't we?
Yeah.
We just smashed it out. Because I remember like thinking, like looking at my watch because I'd put it on a workout and being like, oh my god, like I didn't realise we'd do it in this time. Because I said to you in the hotel, if we get like an hour 30, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And then we got to get under like 120. I was like, I looked at my watch. I was like, oh my god, like
We're gonna do it. Yeah. But yeah, no, it wasn't. It was good, to be fair. And again, we both came away from it kind of thinking like we probably have got more to give.
100%.
Like we could, I know it's easy in hindsight to sit here now and say, oh, we could have knocked minutes off here and there, but I think we definitely could have knocked a bit of time off the running.
Yeah.
Because we were stuck behind people.
Yeah, we were ducking and diving a lot
of the time, and this whole when you watch the walkthrough thing, it says fast lane is on the inside, I think, and then anyone else on the outside. But when you get there, it's just a free for all.
And like,
it's like that pro woman that tried to overtake me.
And then
So
the wrong side.
Yeah, so I'm there running across, and what did she say? Did she say something?
She was like, I'm to your left, and then took you out like right on the right. She was like,
Yeah, she said I'm to your left, like she was pelting it. So I then took a step to my right, but then she then just runs into the and like shoulder barges me.
You say pelting it, bearing in mind she's on her first lap, so of course she's pelting it. Yeah. But I was just a bit like rude. There was so many bits where I was like, because obviously I said to you, it's so much easier when you're on your own if you're not doing a doubles because you don't have to think about that other person. Yeah, but every time one of us overtook, I was like, oh, is he going to get through that gap? Like, is he behind me? Like, and then you were like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it just felt busy.
Yeah, it was.
I seen a lot of TikToks as well about people. That was one thing people said was they were like fighting for my space while I was running and things like that. Like a lot of people said that, and I was like, come to think of it, you're right. Actually, I feel like there was a lot of like people. Yeah. There's just a lot of people.
Yeah, we got to feel like the people that are doing the women's pro as well. Like,
yeah,
they're competitive as well, aren't they? Hence why they're doing the women's pro. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to want to do whatever it takes to win. I mean, if they lose a minute or two by being stuck behind people, like they're going to be absolutely livid at that, aren't they?
That's what I was saying about that's the difference, I think, where, you know, like when you were saying like about in that group chat where people were like gutted that they'd lost time, that's like where like the people, they're not doing it for fun, like nothing, like they obviously enjoy doing it, but the fun element is not the forefront for them, like, so they will push past you. And you know what, fair play to them, like especially doing the women's pro, like 100%. But yeah, there is definitely that element of people are a lot more cutthroat.
Yeah, because I think that the women's pro is the same weights as what we did.
Yeah.
But you'd have to do all of that on your own. So it might have took you a while to do that sled pull.
I would not have finished the Hyrox. Like I would not. That wouldn't move. Yeah. When you were like get halfway, I was like, give it a quarter, because.
Yeah, but you'll be more prepared for it next time. Well, I don't think you haven't really done it.
No, that's what I mean. I think I trained it like twice. And I was like, oh, I can pull it, it's okay.
That plan I was following with Jade, there wasn't an awful lot of sled pull in it. I think there was a lot of like heavy posterior work, like deadlifts, bent over rows, what else was there? Like gorilla rows, single arm rows to build up that posterior strength. But
nothing can prepare you for it tired. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like there is literally nothing. And then I couldn't find my technique. So, but like, I wasn't blowing out my arse because I was stressed about it. I was like, fucking hell. Like, it's just not moving. Oh, God.
obviously, in our training now, a lot of the sessions are having pull-ups and press-ups in. So that, especially the pull-ups, the pull-ups will help if you can get stronger at them. That's going to help your pulling ability, because you're pulling your whole body weight up on your arms anyway. So then when it comes to pulling a sled, and obviously the sled's heavier than your body weight, but I think whenever we do the next one.
To be fair, I've done more sled pull training since after the Hyrox in them workouts than what I did to prepare for it.
Yeah.
But you have to do that because you know that's your weakness. Again, I identified the weaknesses on my first one, which again was sled push, sled pull, and then the wall balls. Really, I felt like I did the wall balls quite slow. Like I'd done 100 in training several times, like whilst being tired, and I was doing them fairly quick. But I just, again, on the day, you can't prepare yourself for it. So I felt like that was a weakness of mine.
Because obviously it's at the end, isn't it? Your adrenaline will be like running out by then.
Yeah. But again, Jade always used any wall balls that I did always were at the end of a session, because it's pointless doing them first. But again, now I think the last time I did 100, I think I got like 5 minutes at PureGym. I was on the Hyrox. I think it took me like nearly 7. But I was more tired in the Hyrox than I was after my other session. But no, I think all in all, we were happy with that, and we're looking at getting another one booked, hopefully in an abroad one.
Ooh.
This time, make a full. Well, we made a trip out of Glasgow, didn't we? To be fair, we went for 4 days. So, but no, definitely an abroad one is on the cards, because I think we both want to do another Hyrox, and I don't know about you, but I want holiday as well.
Yeah.
Somewhere warm, not this shithole of Mansfield.
It's lovely out there today.
Yeah, it's quite nice today to be. I mean, we're sat in the conservatory right now, and it's getting a little. I mean, I've only got this vest on. You've got a hoodie on, but
It's getting a bit muggy.
it is a little bit warm. But I'm not going to open that door because it's very windy. So the equipment will probably get to.
It's raining? What is that?
It might be like literally there's the tiniest bit of anything on this roof, and it just makes a sound. So, but hopefully it shouldn't pick up on the microphones. So yeah. In other news, obviously, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I have joined the Manor House Fitness team, which is a new gym that is opened up in Ollerton. So to begin with, I was looking at a way to stay at PureGym and do Manor House as well. I think because I've been at PureGym for 5 years, obviously it wasn't. I've got my reasons for wanting to leave, but when you're there for 5 years and there is a good team there, I've got a lot of good clients there. It made it a lot more of a difficult decision. But I am leaving PureGym fully and then just doing Manor House full time. So my last day at PureGym will be April 12th. I just think it's not going to be feasible for me to do both, and it's not going to be worthwhile me doing both purely because of how expensive the rent is at PureGym, because it's going up again. And at least then that way I can just focus all my attention onto the other gym and a new challenge, new members, new clients, and then obviously can be doing this sort of stuff still as well, because I don't want to. Last thing I wanted to do was like go there and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to knock the podcast on the head, knock the clothing on the head, because it's still early days with this. I want to keep developing it, and I think working at Manor House, and I'm going to be doing set days, set hours there, and I'm going to dedicate set days and set hours to podcasting, YouTube, clothing related stuff. So it'll work better for me, I think. But obviously how long have you been a member at Pure?
Well, since I moved here, so like 3 years maybe, I think.
Yeah, so I've worked there for 5, trained there for 7. But yeah, I just think, and if you're a PureGym member, like you'll know this yourself anyway. Like the facilities are not great, are they? When you think about it, like how old the kit is, like the toilets being blocked all the time, like they're not particularly very pleasant. So it's that was my main reason for moving is just the facilities, to be fair. And like I say, in my opinion, the facilities are the worst they've been in the 5 years that I've been there. Yet they're expecting us to pay the most that we've ever paid, which I get for inflation, and I know PureGym have to fork out a lot for rent and water, electrical. I get all that, but with what they're trying to get us to pay per month to run a PT business there, it's not worth it. So yeah, and I think like obviously when I had the conversation with Chris about wanting to leave, he just said, look, at the end of the day, everyone has a time frame at that place. Like I'm the longest, other than Chris. Chris has been there for 8 years. I'm the longest standing one. And in the 5 years that I've been there, Jesus, the amount of people that I've seen come and go, like some people only do like a month. So I've seen people, come and go throughout the whole time. So I think I've done well to last 5 years, and I think at the time it was the perfect place for me to go, build up my experience, my knowledge, and actually like build my craft and my business, so to speak. But yeah, I just feel like I feel like 5 years, my time is up. It's time to move on. Just because like I was starting to lose the passion for personal training, but it wasn't. And again, like obviously the team of PTs are great. We all get on. Like I've got such a good bunch of clients at the minute. Like they're amazing. So it just something wasn't adding up, because I'm thinking, well, like it's a good team, good client base, but I've not got the passion for PTing, and I think it is just ultimately like coming down to that facility, and because I'm picking all these faults, and like I say, they're charging us more, the standards are slipping. I've almost just like fell out of love with the building. So I think that's why the best thing for me to do is just, like Chris said, he said just leave with your head held high, because again I've seen it in the past where trainers, they get in a similar situation to me where they start falling out of love with the gym, and then it kind of turns a bit bitter and a bit sour towards the end. Like I won't say his name, but there was a PT that left about 2 years ago, and he just kind of he didn't give a shit when he left. You know what I mean? He weren't doing stuff on shift. He stopped speaking to all the team, and so he just really isolated himself.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to get like that. I don't just want to come in, put my head down, and just do my last couple of weeks. I still want to
Like leave on a positive note. Yeah.
I don't want to fall out of people. I've got no reason to, and
Yeah, because it's not. I feel like sometimes it's like misjudged. Like you're saying, like he went bitter, like taking it out on like when it was literally just that building. It taken out on other people. Like there's no point.
Yeah. Like again, I feel bad for Chris, because, like I say, I've recently so I handed my notice in, and then 2 days later, 2 of the others handed their notice in as well. So they're going to be really short for hours and staff members in April. So it's going to be a very shit time for Chris and for PureGym, because like I used to do weekends as well. And then one of the guys that's leaving, Chris, he used to do the weekend morning as well. So he's already got minimal staff, and he's got to now try and find cover 12 till 4 Saturday and then 8 till 4 Sunday. You know what I mean? And no one's putting their hands up to be like, yeah, I'll do it.
I'll do a weekend.
Like, I've done weekends for over a year because no one else wanted to do them. So like, me going is a big throwing a spanner in the works for Chris. But I think ultimately, if they can't fill the hours with staff, I believe it's up to him and Amanda to make up the hours. So then they're doing more hours. So then they're more stress, and they're going to start resenting the place. And honestly, if I were Chris, I'd just hand my notice in.
Yeah, but see ya. No.
Yeah, let Amanda deal with it, and then Amanda hands her notice in, and
It's just a chain. Here it comes.
and they just end up steamrolling PureGym, knocking it down because they got no one to run it. But no, I think it's my time has come, and I never want it to be there forever.
I think you've gone the right way about it, and I think you've timed it right, because I think it also shows that because you've been there for 5 years, it just goes to show that even though having to pay that rent, like how much of a business you've actually built for yourself. Do you know what I mean? To be able to do like sustain that for 5 years, and then being able to like sort of like nip it in the bud and be like, right, no, now's the time to. I want to expand my business a little bit more, and I can't do that while having to fork out that for nothing, like you said, because there's no facilities, for what you want to do anyway. So yeah, I think you've timed it right. It has, like, everything happens for a reason. I stick by that, and I think you've definitely done the right thing for you.
Yeah, but yeah, I just think I was, like I say, that I was losing the passion, and I almost just feel like I was getting probably too comfortable as well. I wasn't really. Like that year after COVID, or like year and a half after COVID, like I feel like I progressed massively in my studying. I was doing mentorships. Like I did loads of stuff to like accelerate my business in that time. But then almost since then, I just feel like I've kind of been a bit stagnant with it, and I'm not really. I'm just rocking up, doing my PT sessions, and going home. I don't feel like I'm a coach as such. Like all the stuff I was doing with you, like looking at all the data, and with the PT session, I feel like I was just rocking up, doing the session, and then I just felt like I was just ticking over and just doing these just session after session. So I was just getting a bit lazy with it, and so I think it's what I needed. Because obviously I've done a couple of sessions there, a couple of classes, and just that change of environment and that.
Just like light a fire under your arse.
But it's just got that buzz back again, because obviously I'm going into a facility where nobody knows me. Well, there is a couple of people in there actually that used to go PureGym, and hopefully I'm going to convert a lot of people to come with me. So sorry, Chris, you're going to lose a lot of members as well as staff members.
You won't lose me though. Everyone keeps asking me, are you going? When you go? And I'm like, this is my playground. But that's the thing. It is like down to an opinion thing of whether, like, because obviously for what you want to do, the facilities for you aren't great, because and you've seen what it's like at Manor House, and that thingy's for you. But I'm like, I come to do my session. I'm sound. Who knows, if I ever went to Manor House, I'd be like, oh, maybe the sauna and sunbeds are doing it for me. PureGym, like, sorry, bye. But like for now, I'm sound.
You and Scott will be at PureGym till.
Oh God, yeah. But like he says, passion doesn't pay the bills. Oh God. Yeah, me and Scott till the very end. We love you, PureGym. One love, one PureGym.
So yeah, that's pretty much everything that's been going off in the last month or so.
Yeah.
So, like I say, I'm back and forth so much over these next couple of weeks, but I do want to, once I get a bit more of a regular schedule at Manor House, I want to try and get a lot more consistency with these podcasts as well, and I'm going to try and put together. Obviously, I need someone to help me out with the videography. I'm going to see if Dom doesn't mind doing the first one, but I'm doing another pop-up event for the clothing at PureGym before I leave. So I just need to finalise the dates on that. And then going forward, I'm going to be on this YouTube channel. I'm going to be starting up almost like a mini series, like of behind the scenes stuff. So I'm going to use that pop-up event as the first one. So look out for that. That will be on. I don't know what I'm going to call the series yet, but I'm basically going to categorize all of these episodes into a podcast, and then I'm going to name a series, and then all those episodes will be in there. So that'll just be a lot of behind the scenes, like fly on the wall type stuff, just so you can kind of see what actually goes on behind the scenes in terms of doing podcast stuff, clothing stuff. So just want to try and document as much as I can, really. So this time next year, when we're millionaires, can look back on it and be like, yeah, that's where we started.
All began here in the conservatoire.
Boxes and clothes, because I can't move in my bedroom.
Oh God.
My bedroom is just full of boxes, clothes rails. It's been an absolute nightmare, really, but persistence pays off. So
Quote of the day.
hey, we'll leave you with that. But yeah, as always, if you enjoyed this episode, please drop it a like. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And yeah, thank you as always for tuning in, and we will catch you in the next one.